So let's continue with the Multistation AD coding. The last time I was working on the initial browser code. So what I have to do now is start adding the components for the browser. So the code is pretty much there. I just have to copy and paste from the old code for Multistation Z1. So let me confirm that everything is working. The options, the about, then I go to browse presets. I'll have to hide the about. And here it's working too, including the location. So let me check here. Where is the add top? Oh, here it's add child instead. And let me double check that in the plugin editor I'm actually removing all the stuff from the screen. So delete all children. So this should delete all the objects. And then I also have to clean up the... maybe I don't have to clean up the table. So let me see here. Because I created the top components on an array. Yes, going to crash because it's going to delete twice. So clear and don't clear the objects, because the delete all children is going to do that. Now it's still crapping out. Maybe it's doing this twice. I don't remember how I do that. Well, for now I'm going to leave this out. But I'm trying to remember something. Because if I'm adding all the objects, those are just pointers. I'm using scoped pointer for the layer object. So I think the order is wrong, so it should be like something like that. Oh, it's still crashing. So let me debug that and see what is actually going on in here. Okay, so let's check out. So on the delete all children, it's where the problem is happening. But why? I'm trying to figure out this it's still crashing in the same place when I delete all the children. Because let me check something. So we initialize, add child component. Unless I'm adding something twice. Let me take a look in here. So it's not calling the change layer during the initialization, which is correct. And then what it's doing is just initializing in here, which hides the about box. And what else? Adds to the top component, which just an owner array. Weird. It could be. So let me check the layer object. So in this case, the layer object. Oops. In this case, it is the initial layer object. And let me take a look at the initial. So adding to the editor. And then those are just pointers, so it's not a problem, I think. Interesting. So what I'm going to do, instead of delete all children, I'm going to go one by one and check which one is doing the problem. Number of child components. Then I can go and string name id equals get child component, get component id, so I can check which one is doing is crashing, and then I just go and remove child component, and then the index, and then I delete everything else, which should be empty by now. Because maybe my layer object needs to clean stuff that it created. I'm trying to think of what is going on. Leaked object detector. So let me check which object is being leaked. Screw bar. Why? Oh, the view parts. Well, that's kind of correct. So the little children crashes, but this doesn't crash. So what does that tell us? Nothing. Oh, I'm doing this the wrong way. I just remember something. This should be like this, because it should be reversed. Equals 0, and then it should be reversed. Then it should show us something. And it's still working. Strange. Well, I'm going to leave like that for now. So I can just make this shorter. I'm cleaning the table that I created and cleaning the object. And I also need to create a code. Oh, it's not cleaning the viewport. That I don't understand. So what I'm going to do is just create a destructor and go like I have to create this on the file so I can use the editor. So this is for the initial. Destruction. Then I have to remove the viewports. If I remove the viewport, it should also remove the other guys. Set view the component. It's going to delete the text list, so I just have to remove the viewport. And the viewport where I'm adding this to the editor. Why it's not cleaning the viewport? That's weird. It should be doing that. Oh, I forgot that by removing the child component, I'm not deleting it. Oh boy. That is complicated. Just a minute, let me think about this a bit. So I don't need the destruction here. And instead, I should be using a scoped pointer. Viewport. Let me try something in here. Because it should destruct delete the objects. And it's not doing that, so let me try to see what I'm doing wrong. This I don't have to worry because it's going to delete by the viewport. This is very confusing. And these remove child components we don't use because it just removes, doesn't delete the object. And then on the plugin editor here, I'm going to try to use that for the about box and see what happens. So now, liquid object detect 4 instances of class screw bar. But from where? Viewport, drag to screw listener, animated position, 19 instance of component. I see. It's not deleting anything. So if I go delete all children, otherwise I have to manually delete it, but that's very weird. Yeah, it still doesn't like that. So let me try to see how many items it deletes before it does anything. So 1, 2, and on the third one it crashes. So let's see initialize what are adding to the screen. We added the display in preset, then the layer object which is going to add the to on and off, and then it adds the viewports. Set viewed component, delete, let's put false so it doesn't delete it just in case. Now it still crashes. It's not that. So what's going on? So let me try something else. I remember that if you delete an object, it auto removes from the interface. So if I do create a not here, a destructor for the initial layer, and I just go and remove everybody there, it should also automatically remove from the interface, if I'm not mistaken. So this happens here. I clear the top components, I don't delete all children. Then let first clear the layer object, then the top components, and so it should work. So let me check now what else I'm actually adding. What is it? Oh, the resizer component and the about box component. Where's the resizer? Oh, this one I don't delete. And I'm pretty sure that I'm not going to delete our children from here too. Let me try that. So probably going to be using that for everybody. This is so boring to do. But it must be done. So now at least the layer code should take care of anything that's under its wing. So here in this case I have all these guys created. Then on the set viewed component, well, just in case I'm going to not make it auto deleted and have it deleted from here. So I delete the viewport first and then the text list second. So now I know that I need to take care of each of the objects myself. So when it's time to close the editor, it's going to close the layer, and then the layer close all the objects that it created. But I still need to close all the top components. So that's what I'm going to do next. I just want to test this out first. Delete. Music Pro Editor. Which one is deleting any on and off? Wait a minute, what's going on? Why it doesn't tell me which one is which one? So that sucks. So I want to check it. Where is the guy here? So it's trying to auto-delete one of the scoped pointers. But the scoped pointer is empty. Why is it trying to delete an empty one? That's weird. And that's going to complicate my life. And if I don't clear now, I think I'm going to go one by one and check what's going on. Delete all objects. Let's take a look. On an array, delete out objects. I think I'm deleting twice something. So let me double check that. Anything that I add to the top component, I don't use. Oh, of course. Now I remember what it is. So I don't clear the table twice. I'm just going to leave this table for the top components as a reference, because I'm already using the scoped pointer for the actual object, so it's deleting twice. So that's why it makes sense. So let's see what's shoe leaking. Screw bar. Viewport. Drag to listen. And mid position. 12 components. But where? I'm not even using. Mouse cursor. What is all this stuff? String array. Huh, that's so weird. Because all the objects now is self-destructing. They're all there. Let me see if when I open the file browser, if it changes anything. Oh, it's not removing those two guys. That's bad. And it's still leaking the same stuff. That's weird. I will have to address this later because I have no idea what else it could be, because unless I'm creating something twice or something like that. Well, I'm going to figure this out later. For now, I just have to worry about the layer not removing the stuff from the screen as it should. Because when you change layers, layer object is equal a new object. So it should be destructing the previous layer, the initial layer. Where is it? Here. It should be removing all the viewports and stuff. But it's not. Because if you see here, add and make visible. Let me get the complete information. It's no longer telling me that it's going to remove if I delete the component. So that's bad. That's not the behavior I was expecting. It was like that before, so I think they changed at some point. So I'm just going to delete, remove and delete. Editor, remove. Oops, I forgot to add the class name. Not like that. Remove child component, options. Then browser report 0 and 1. text list, I don't think I need to remove because I'm removing the view part. So it should work. So every layer I have to remember to remove anything that the layer added. It's not a big deal, but for big layers it's going to be a lot of stuff that it should be okay. So if I press browse presets, it's still there. That's weird. That's weird because it's almost like it's not being called. I'm no longer in debug mode, so I'm going to use that. Yeah, it's not being called. What the hell? Why is not calling? Do I have to explicitly go like this? They changed. I hate that because it used to work like that, but they keep changing things. That's why I don't update anymore. It's just a pain in the ass. They changed too much stuff that didn't really need it changing. The framework guys. But okay, that's my fault. Let me just... there's a cat walking here on the roof. It's not my cat. I don't have cats yet. Let me adjust my microphone. Sorry for the noise. Okay, that should be a bit better. I don't know. So, browse presets. It's still not cleaning. What's going on? What am I doing wrong? That's so weird. Well, I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to create a close, but I have to add to the virtual. Where is this? Virtual close. So I know I have to delete something before anything else. So it's if layer object not null pointer, then I go layer object close, and then it should close. Remove from the screen anything that needs to be removed. It's not the optimal. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's not the best way to do it, but it should work. Failed. Why? Oh, yes, because I changed it there during the compilation. So let's see what happens now. When I close this guy, oh, I forgot to add that too. I have to add to the destructor of the plugin editor, and now it's working. So I have to also add this here. I remember that I had a problem like this one time, and I don't know how I fixed it, because the destructor was not being called from the class. But in any event, it's working, and it's much cleaner now. So now I can start adding the top components. They are already in the initialize area because they are going to be global components. So the initial layer is going to be the default one. Then add the display preset. Okay. Then add the star, the random. So let me check in here again. Initial. Let me close a few things. So when I click on initial browser, it's changing to the layer browser for presets. And so it should show the presets background, which is not doing right now. Let me check which one's showing. Oh, that's the correct one. So we need the master volume here, even if there's no preset loaded, it's not a problem. The panic can be there too. Then options is going to be on the logo. And if you click close, it's going to go back to the main window. And you can also open and close the multi-preset chainer. And this guy should not be working. Yeah, it's not working yet, because I didn't do the code. So let me think in here for a second. Let's go to the browser. Oh, it's already using the right images in there. And the browser are going to create two objects. So I also need to overwrite the close. Where is my close here? There's going to be a few objects that are just for the guy there. So now I will start to have to change the stop components area. So I'm going to move this outside of here so I can keep on changing without having to recompile the whole file. And I'm going to just add this to the where is it? The plugin editor file. Can I add this on the bottom? Because now I have to check I'm going to have to check if the component I want to add is going to be visible or not. So what you can do, let's say the master volume just on the initial screen is not going to be added. So now I need a way to know which layer object I'm showing. So I need a name for that, and I forgot to add that. So let's put this here, the name, and well, there is the base name I could use actually. Yeah, I could use the base name, it's not a big deal. If layer object, not null pointer, and layer object base background base name compare. So in the case of the initial screen, it's going to be, where is it? Initial layer and initial layer base name. Where is it? It's on the initial file. Oh, it's on the initial file, so it could be 5 or 4. So let's use contains, which is easier. Contains 4. Or 5. So that way we know that's the main window. Which right now I don't have anything that I don't have to worry about that this way, so it should be it and not that. So it's not the main window. That way I can add the main volume. And let's take a look at the names I used. So it's going to master volume. That's visible is true. And for now, just that. Then you can check if the other file browser options, then we worry about that in the actual layer file. So the master volume should show up now. External public, oh yes, I forgot to add that to the browser. Close. Close is closed. No, close. Oh, I didn't create the master volume. Let's create it. Initialize master volume and add to want the component, top component. Component temp compo. We don't have a master volume knob. Oh, we didn't create the image for that. And I also have to check if my presets code is creating a default one, at least a blank one. So let's see here on plugin processor. So how I'm creating the presets is an owner array. Oh yes, I am created one. So that's correct. So I just need to worry about the image now. So my add knob code, it looks like I have to improve this code because it was for the older version. Let's see, let's add like that and not like this. Okay, that should work better with the new interface. I have to also set the positioning and of course load the knob image, which is going to be the medium knob cached files. Yeah, that's not going to work because it's missing the image. And I also need to change the positioning. So layer changed, I'm not going to use anymore. Instead, I'm going to use the other code. Well, I'm going to leave this for now because the media learner wants to reuse the code. And I need to create the image for that. So let's do that. So in the initialization, I'm creating all the sub images in here. So I'm going to create for the knobs too. It's going to take a while to create. Where are they? Hey! Oh, I forgot to put PNG. So here are the files that needs to create these subfiles. Yeah, it's not so slow. This is done just one time for me, actually. Then the files should be ready. So, okay, now I have all the files for the knob in place. And let me check where I'm loading the files, load images. Then I have to create, where did I create that? So I'm going to use my new image holder file to determine what's going to be what. So I have the normal, the bipolar, and the background. Okay. That's the background. So okay, let's take a look at the rest, where I'm actually adding the rest. So I can't use that, now I remember why. So I actually have to go into knob, bipolar, background. Oh, what a mess. Okay, now should be correct image. Oh, of course, you don't do that. Okay, so that's correct. Now I have to put all the sizes. It's a pain in the ass to do it, but it must be done. Bipolar, that's not going to work. So let's see what the sizes are for the regular one. And I think they should be the same. 46, 92, 138, 184, 230. So they are the same for both regular and bipolar ones. Bipolar is because it goes from left to right like a pen knob or a fine-tuning knob. Then the background. Uh, 53, 106, 159, 212, 265. So okay, this should work. Then on the load images we can go and check that's a lot of stuff. And it should work now. Now I just need to go to resize interface and actually place the master volume in the right location. Which I have deleted. Meh. Set visible, master volume, value. Let me check on my backup which file I was using before. So it should be on the interface resize or something like that. Resize interface. But in any way, there's nothing here. So it's fetching from somewhere else, or this file is already old. Oh, weird. Or the layer changed. Where am I getting? That's weird and odd. So let me check my previous copy from my backups. That's why I always backup crap out. And see if it's in there. Because I already created all this, so I create twice. I don't want to do that. Unless it's somewhere else. But it should be in... not this file. It should be in here. Interface resize. Resize interface. Let's take a look. No, there's nothing here. Get number of child components. Redo component size. That's how I'm doing. Wait a minute. I think I get it now. That's kind of okay, but Let me check first if the image is actually loading up. I don't think it's loading. Not correct, at least. Because I remember now that I created a code. So here on the knob, when I add a knob, I use this component ID, and I have a table somewhere. Station, skins, default. Is sorted somewhere here. I have all the positions in here, and it can fetch the position from this file instead. That's why there is no set bounds for that. Interesting. So let me see what's scrapping now. Displaying preset set visible. So the displaying preset is the one. Let me check now what's going on. So change layer, remove child component. I'm just checking what's going on in here. So it calls the change layer, and then the master volume is null. So I'm doing something wrong in the knob creation code. Let's take a look again. Scope and pointer component. I forgot to pass the pointer to the actual object. So now what I have to do is check this code for the master volume, where it sets the place, the location. Okay, so now it's working. So let me do just that. So it goes on the resize interface. I can copy this, which should be the code that's going to take care of all objects that can be resized with this code, the reduce skin component size. Yeah, just as I was expecting, just gets from the skin file, this skin settings XML file, And I also created a code that I can activate it just for me, an administrating code, which allows me to reposition all the objects on the screen, and it writes back to the skin file. So it's just easier than have to guess where to put it. But it only works with knobs, faders, on and offs, and stuff like that. Not with custom objects. So it should now show, but in the wrong position because I changed the background. Then I can reposition it. I always like to test step by step, because then I can check for errors more easily. So first thing, the browser is not loading the correct image. I have to check why. This should be the image for the browser when you have a layer already. Oops. And it's not showing the volume. So it's getting the number of the child components and checking which one has this ID. So let's go back to debug mode. And also going to take a look at the browser. Why is it loading the wrong one? Because I put it wrong in here, so it should be 3B or 3. Because if I'm not mistaken, the 3B is the one that actually... Yeah, that's the one. 3B is for presets when there is no preset loaded. So it doesn't show any information about layers and stuff like that. So let's see now what it is doing in here. Oh, maybe I forgot to actually call that. So during the initialization is calling. Oops, I don't want to call that many times. But here when I press is not calling, so okay. And the background is correct now. So let's take a look. And let's leave the debug for now. Let's take a look when you change a layer. So I could use this file for my next layer change and move it out of here. Where is it? Here, change layer. So I'm going to put this on the right place. Should be on the layer change file. Because with time we're going to have more stuff in there. And then we remove this layer changed call. Because this is going to be part of something else. So, well, it's not a big deal. We can remove it. Because this was for the old code. And I'm not going to be using that anymore. So instead, we're going to have just a layer change. And where is the layer changed? It's change layer instead. So let me check now. What is missing is the resized for when the layer changes. Why? Because we need to calculate the position of stuff. So that's resized and repaint. Resize, I already have repaint. No. So that's good. Okay. Oh, yeah. And before I compile, let me activate my code and see if this still works, because I changed so much thing. And I think it's the position editor everything, if I'm not mistaken. So it adds some keyboard shortcuts, a lot of keyboard shortcuts, and take care of the, well, of everything. It's compiling. It's compiling. Let's see if it is going to throw any errors, because I changed a lot from the previous code. Yeah, it's already complaining about something, so let's check it out. No, it was something else. Should be working now. So now when I go to the file browser, which adds the master volume, it's still not showing. Oops. If I press tab, it goes from one object to another, but some objects I haven't initialized yet. Ah, come on, I put a tab in the in the file. So let me try again. Browser presets. Start preset, run a preset, master volume, and it crashes. Let's see why. Paint, fill all, show, edit, everything counter. Huh? This is not being... This is not being initialized for some reason. But it's in there. Component. Strange. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's maybe the knob is missing something. Now I remember one detail about the knob. I think I have to check something. So start presets, random, master volume. With alpha, new alpha, an absurd number. Why it's crapping this guy? Well, I'm going to remove that for now. But what I want to check is the knob medium code, which should be up in here, knob medium, and check what is using as the sizes. $48. And he's using the height, because depending on the size of everything, the image is going to change as well. And I'm not sure that my code is going to work correctly. Because now I remember that there's a problem in there. I'm trying to remember something about the knob. So the knob is in there, but it's not showing the image. What I'm going to do... So let me check here. What is it? Load images. Just to test, I'm going to... I can go... I'm going to force it to load the highest quality image and then resize with another code instead. So just let me check the knob here, how it's drawing. Just using draw image. Browser is still not showing anything. I see a problem. Draw image. No, that's correct. Get width, get height. Total animations. And then on the components, which is the... Where is the knob? Medium knob. Total animations. That seems correct, and this seems correct. Just the background is not correct. Just to double check that it is actually drawing the square correctly, I'm going to put a few all red. Sorry about that. So the knob is in there. Yeah. But it's not loading the images correctly. So one thing I was thinking, and that's going to be a problem. Because the background is one thing. The background is just a big file that I resize. But in case of the knob, I can use the sub images because I rely on animation of the knob. And what happens is that if you change the size of the file, and it's not a size that is going to readjust the file correctly. Let's say we have all the images of the knob. Let me show what I'm talking about. So all the images have a positioning, a height to each image from one to another. So when you move the knob up and down, you can select which image you want. But when we resample the image, if the size is not an integer, it can lead to problems because it's not going to allow you to select correctly. So I need another solution for that. I could just use 2 files and have it divided by 2. So that could also work out. So instead of just 1 file, could you have 2 files and just check for the size of the interface, you use the other file. For now, I'm just going to use 1 file and see how it looks, but the last time I checked it didn't look that great. I wasn't very happy with the result. That's why I'm trying to create something better. So let me check where I'm creating. Oh, this guy is here. I'm not going to create anymore, but let me leave it in here because I want to try and divide it by 2 instead. And then what I can do, so is on the layer object, I think is the image. Yeah, that's the place. Because let's see this image size. So this is divided by 2. And for some reason, the bipolar and the regular ones have one frame more, but why? Strange. The width is the same, but the height is not. But on my code for the component, oh, it is different. 82 for when it's bipolar, and 83 for when it's not bipolar. So still both numbers are divided by 2, so it could work. So let me try something. My image holder, I could just add total images equals 5. So by default, we're going to always have 5. And then we can reuse this. So let's say the check image code. If total image equals 5. Maybe there is a better way to do this, but for now I'm just going to use like this, like that. Equals 2 instead. So it's just sub 1 is sum 2. Oh, in case of 2 is just 1 size. Yeah, that's correct. And then I can check if it looks better or not. And now here on my plugin editor, where is the plugin editor? Constructor. I actually have to terminate. I forgot to add in here. Total images equals 5. That way I can adjust these guys here for 2. So it's the base image and another one, so just 2. Oops. And during the initialization, I can do this in another way. Clear. And I'm just going to copy and paste it because it's just easier. So process images. Oops, I forgot to add the loop. Then I do the process image again, but this time just divided by 2. String sub1 image use these instead. Divided by 2. Height divided by 2. So that should work. And create just one type of image. And now, load images, I can put back this guy here. Then I'm going to double check if it actually creates the correct images. It's not doing something stupid. That's not good. Oh, it created. But it's still not showing. That's what I have to check next. So let's first see if the images are correct. Yeah, they are there. The background looks good. And the original knob looks good. So what is going on? How it's drawing. Total animations. It uses the height of the object, because that's the offset. Maybe I have to weird thing is that it doesn't draw the background because draw image within, set quality. Let's put high quality instead. So draw with within 00, get width, get height. Rectangle placement is going to be stretched fit, and false. So this should be the background. So at least the background should show up. Then the image, I will have to check the image again. It's still not drawing the background. Why it's doing that? So let me see. Knob, image background, which I am passing during the initialization here to the master volume. Where is the master volume? Master volume. Okay. And it's being passed by the add knob code. Here's the add knob code. Knob image. And then the background image. It could be that since I'm passing a pointer to the image, for some reason is not doing what I'm expecting, because I create the image later on here. But it does work for the about box. Why shouldn't work for the other one? Dogs. Always going crazy. And those are not my dogs. My dogs never bark. Well, never. Almost never. Let's compile again, just because I changed the header. So it's something when it loads. So let me check one thing here. I think I know what it is. Component. Let's take a look at the on and off. I think I changed the behavior. Image on, image off. I'm passing a pointer to the image. And then on the medium knob, I'm not passing a pointer. So let's try to pass a pointer instead. Then I have to change in here. and change on knob any image that needs to be changed. Because since I'm changing the image afterwards, it starts with a blank image, then it checks the interface size, and just after the interface is resized, we can load the correct image. So now we have to go like this. That's the only difference from the about box code, which is the on and off code, and my knob code. I was using a different type of pointer. And it's still not showing. Piece of shit. So that's weird. I don't get it. But for the on and off, it is working. Where is it? And I'm just using the same pointer. I'm just going to be sure that I'm using the correct. Oh, there is a component paint here that I'm going to remove just in case, but I don't think that's a problem. Knob image, graphics, that's correct. And I'm also going to remove the actual knob. I want to see the background, it should be showing there. It's still not showing. It's a big round circle. So what happens if I go like this? Let's say background image equals image of red and oops, put it in the wrong place. So this creates an input image. Go equals new. It's not like that. I remember doing like that. Format. Ah, of course, it's 40 by 40 and clear. But no, that's going to create multiple images in memory. That's not what I want. What I want is to clear the area. I just want to check if there is actually a valid image in there. Why it's not showing? Yes, that's something very wrong in there. I can figure this out, it's just that it's annoying why it's not working. So let's go here again. Load images. Medium media background is in there. Let's see if during the constructor I'm putting the right information. I am not putting the right information. Oh, that's why it's not working. Really? This is so annoying. So the first is the regular knob, which is this one here. Then the bipolar knob, and then for last the background. Jesus. How do I expect it to work? Then it should start working in part, because you have to check that the drawing of the knob when it's half the size, if it's going to work correctly. Okay, so at least it's in there now. It looks like crap because it's still not correct. Yeah, but I don't think I see the background. Let me see if with this I can see the background easier. So let's double check here. Plugin editor, medium knob, background. Background sub 1. These numbers are not correct, by the way. So it should be knob 1, sub 1, 140, then 0, 0, 0, 0. And for the bipolar, also 140, because use the width, not the height. And the background, 160. I don't think that's the problem, but just in case. So for the background, it's not a problem because I can stretch and make it fit in the correct place. It's just a knob. Now I have to think a bit better. But it's still not showing the background. Background image, get width, get height. Oh, come on, really. It's on the other way around. It's get width and height and then the position. And by default, the position is here, so I don't have to write it. So now it should work. And it kind of works. Since I'm resizing it to fit the actual square, it doesn't look very good. But at least now I can move it. It's just the resize is not working. So why? Get width, get height, it should be okay, unless the background is not really centered. So let me load my photo editor to check it out. Because the way I was doing before was very differently. So that's why I have to change so much now. It's not centered. So let me check the original background. It's also not centered. Interesting. Why so? Why it's doing like that? This look a bit better, but it's still very large. So why? There must be some shadow going on around it. So the problem is that how I'm going to draw the knob on top of this if this is not centered. I have to... that's no good. But I can fix this, no problem. So let's write the knob. Where is it? Knob medium background, overwrite, yes. So this is a large one. I have to delete the smaller one. And just by looking at it, I can see that it looks very bad. One reason for that is that I'm doing the check the wrong way. It should be, let's say, when resolution is half, so it's around 40/40, around that. We use this smaller file instead. Anything above, use the higher version, some around something like that. Excuse me. Yeah. So okay, now it looks a bit better. But it's still not round, because the size I'm using is not correct. Maybe I could still reduce just a bit the size of this thing. I don't know if it's going to start showing that I'm cropping the blue and the shadow on the bottom. Just a bit. Then I'm going to leave like that for now. So I'm getting there. So now the problem is how I'm going to handle the actual knob. I will have to determine some positioning according. Hey, what you doing? What changed? That's weird. So it does look almost perfect, just the on top that doesn't. So let me take a look at the files. Maybe I'm doing this the wrong way. So let me check. So the knob and the actual knob file, which is knob 1, not sub. Here. So let's go to the top. The bottom is easier to see. So this is the file. If I put on top, I can see that it matches the knob. But let me check the original file before I edit it. I should have a copy around here. So where's the knob? Video knob background. Here's the mic knob background. It doesn't fit on top. So let me check. Or I have to check the code to see how I did that, because I don't really remember. Vision bar Capcom, music knob. Let me just, oops, not this one, this one. No, it's still not. So let me check the old code, how I would do that, because I really don't remember. It's raining now on here, so you may hear that on the microphone. My microphone's very sensitive. So image resample, I think is there that I used to construct a new knob back and knob file. Let's see how I was going to do. The big knob is one thing. Yeah, resample medium knobs. That's what I was doing. And I think that's the only way to go. Because the background and the image on top, they need to fit perfectly on top of each other, no matter the size. So you can see what I'm doing here is I'm loading the original size, and then I cut each portion of each knob animation, then I resample and place it back into a new file in memory. That's what I'm doing, and that's what I should be doing. So we're going to go back to that format for the knob, because there is really no other way. That's why I was not drawing to fit the image. I was just drawing the image instead. So now in the load image, instead of this, I actually need to resample the images. And then I need to copy the files over again from Z1. So they are skin files, knob, no, data files, skin files, default knob, medium knob background, and bipolar. So we can use those files instead. Skin, default, and I can remove this sub. That's okay. Then I'm going to remove from the initialization that I was creating these files. Just comment out in case I need to use this later on for some reason. And then now I'm going to go back to using images for those guys. And now I can just use, like I was using before, 3 files for the medium knob cached. Oh, come on. So bipolar is going to be 1. So medium knob cached bipolar is 1. Otherwise it's 0. And background is 3. Okay, but I have to pass the actual variable details. Just some stuff that I need to redo because I changed a few things, but it's not a big deal. I just hope that the load image is going to call before anything else. I have to test that. And then on plugin editor, I can remove these guys, which I'm not going to be using anymore. Then on the knob medium, I'm back to using it like this. And then it should work with the other code. Then now here I can just load directly. Number 3 is going to be the background. And I just want to check if this image resample is working correctly. Yeah, it should work correctly now. And it should also resample the knob, which is the one that really needs some better code. And now it's working correctly. I think I can't really see. Maybe I can put a different background there. I see that when I resize it, it craps out because it's not doing a new knob for each movement. So I will need to cache each knob, and it's taking some time to resample the knob. Just like 1 second. 1, 2, 3 seconds. But this is just one time, so it's not a big deal. But let's try and see if it still looks that bad with the normal quality changing. So let's go there. We have the guy there. We're going to resize, so it's very fast, the resize. Maybe I could leave an option of the quality you want. One thing that later on, for now I'm going to leave high quality. And then on the knob, I'm going to cache this to a different value. Only a different image only if the actual value changes. So medium knob prev value equals -1. So that's should help us out. Image cached image. So that should help out. The image background, Nick Novel, this is okay. So if preview value is not value, the actual value, which is a float too, then we draw, otherwise we draw the cached one. So image at cached image 00, which is the position. And now we create the image if required. If image is valid, image equals it's best that I also have the size of the image. Int previews width equal -1, or so it creates the image, then graphics, PG, cached image. And we don't need this else because it always renders the cached image. And you also set preview values to value. So it goes, we draw on the image instead, only when there is a change. And since I'm drawing always the background image, well, I still need to clear the image. Clear rectangle int 0 get width, get height. That should do the trick. And then I can copy this to any other that I need it. But it's mostly the knob that's going to be like that. The big knob, for instance, is not going to work like that, so it's not a big deal. So it does look very clean. Oh, I forgot to draw it in a way that it keeps on the area. I just don't get this gray background, where this is coming from. Let me check my background again. And also I need to do is draw image within. So get width, get height, rectangle, placement, stretch to fit. And this I can close, don't need any more. And let me check the background. Why it's looking like that? Medium knob background. Something is wrong. Medium knob, medium knob. They are both transparent. Weird. Let me check if I'm not doing something wrong when I load the image. What does this do that I don't remember? No. Close the file if the doesn't add any background formation. Why there's always something? Ah, boy. So here we just want to load I forgot to copy the name. Where is the name again? So, okay. I load the knob. I'm probably overlooking something silly, but I don't know. I'm not longer using that. Well, let me move around the volume and see what happens. It's like it's using another background. Oh yes, it's not using the right background. I can see that. So let's see on the load image, I'm not loading the wrong file. Meeting knob cached. That's correct. That's number 2. And then on the plugin editor, when I add a knob, medium knob cached 3. There is no 3, it's 2. That's why. Yeah. Because 0 is knob regular, 1 is bipolar, and 2 is the background. 3 doesn't exist, so it was loading something else from memory and using as image. Probably the actual background for some luck instead of crashing. But it should have crashed instead. Now it's correct. But, well, almost at least. It's still not showing the correct background. So let's see why. I think the way I'm loading. Because I'm not resampling it when I should be resampling it. So the preview was called was just a process image and original image was doing that. Now it's correct. Okay. And it looks very clean. Now I just need to position this correctly, which for some reason I can move up. Oh, I can move up. I think that should be around there, but I think the size is all wrong. I have to check my skin files and see how I can resize it, because I don't remember how to resize the object. But at least it should save it and load the position. And it's loaded wrong background again. Why is that? Oh boy, did I change something? So it's only initialize, initial. Oh, the browser. Where's the browser? Oh, that's the browser base. And that's correct. Is when I change the size that is loading the wrong one. Let's see. No, it's not that. I don't know what's going on. Weird. And I still need to add. Let me think. I'll have to think on something. But let's see how bad it looks if I use the lower quality option. Yeah, it looks very, how to call that, jagged? Jagged? It looks bad. I don't like it. It is much faster to change the size, but still looks very, very crappy. So I'm trying to think if there is a way to improve this for the knob in a way that I have, let's say, multiple files that I create just one time, and then I can load quickly quicker, faster. Because there is a 3-second delay that can be annoying, because right now we only loading that, but soon we have to also load the faders and other stuff. It's not going to be a lot of stuff, but mostly everything that we see on the skin folder. So it's a lot of files that still have to load. Most are small. So the render font I'm not going to be using anymore. Is the reverb empty? Sample player empty. Those are mostly small files. Let's see, what's the largest one? The background. The about box. And then the knob. Yeah, those are the largest ones, the big ones. So I'm going to have to think about that. Because the whole process of recreating a resample from this file in here is take a big hit, so it's very slow. But then again, it's just done one time, so it's not that big of a deal. So let me see now if I can check the size of the knob that I should be using. So let me check my original files. So it is larger than the panic button. Maybe I could just draw in there. Let me check why the size is not working. So this is the code I'm using. Where's the keyboard stuff? Control. Well, Control should be doing that, but it's not. So if it contains Control, just going to add some other keys. Then I can change everything to the right place. Left A. Let me try to make this a bit larger. That's not so much, but at least helps a bit. Master volume. So looking at the image in here, I did something wrong. Right. It looks a bit larger on my picture, I think. But contour is not working for some reason. I think I'm doing something wrong here, but it's not a big deal. I can change some other way by looking at the actual skin file. So master volume. Oh, it doesn't have size. So what it is using as size? Weird. What is it? Resize interface. Let's take a look. Reduce skin components. Original size. So I know what it is. It's on the add knob. This original size. If I want it a bit larger, I can make it a bit larger, but I cannot make it different for each one on the screen. It's not a big deal because they're going to be, well, I can make it different if I use another code, of course. And then it changes. That's not good. It should be 280 because I'm pretty sure on the load images here I'm using something. No, on the knob image. Somewhere I'm using get high. Yes. So in order to change that per knob, I have to change this code here. But for now, I'm not going to bother because I don't need to. It should look okay from what I'm looking here on the screen, on the other monitor. So let me check now. I'm just going to place it, on the right place. Something like that. Yeah, that looks about right. And it shows correctly on the preset editor. I just have to check why the image is not loading correctly. Because now it shows correctly. It's still showing correct. When it's changing? Because I didn't do anything here. I have to figure this one out. Oh, this looks correct. Go figure. At some point I have to figure out why it's changing the image when it should be changing. So well, it's okay. I will figure this out. So for now I'm going to leave it like that. It's not a really big deal. And one thing I was thinking is that when I load the editor, where is here, the callback. The callback for loading the initial browser. I'm thinking that here I'm going to be loading the knob. So we're going to create a variable, ignore knob image loading is true. So now it's false. And then on the load images, if not this. Because I don't need the knob image when I start up, just so it starts a little faster. It's also good for when the plugin gets scanned. And I could do the same thing for the about image. But for now I'm not going to bother about that. So okay, what did I... Oh, I know what it is. I'm reusing a few files in here. Knob original. That's why I was using this. Because with these brackets I can reuse the same variable name. It's going to keep separate from the rest. And now loads much faster. And only... Well, it should be creating in here, but it's not. So... Change layer, load images. Now I have to force it to load it. No, it's still not loading. Actually, wait. I pressed quit too soon. That looks weird. Let me try again. Well, it doesn't show the button. It's still processing. No, that's not good. That's not going to work. Let's go back in time and remove this stupid code. And I'm going to take a break now. And I'm going to be back probably tomorrow. So, thanks for watching.